So with FIA Rallycross returning, the European Rallycross Championship for 2026 and the potential RX World Cup that will be happening at Jakarta at the end of the year, I figured it'd be worth me going through and doing some pre-season predictions. Now I know this video is releasing on the first day of the actual championship on the 9th of May. Luckily I haven't seen any of it yet. I do know who's entered for the first round, so what we'll do is we'll just go through the regular prediction format that I've had. First 6 broad predictions, 7 through 12 championship, then 6 more for changes, and 8 more for random wildcard events. Let's get on with it. And to start off, I think at least 2 races will have quarterfinals, because I think it has happened already for Bikaneki, hasn't it? I think there'll be at least 4 different winners across all of the events. I think 3 different cars will win races, in which case, if there is, for example, an old spec Polo and the one that Christopherson Motorsport are running that win races, that would count as 2 separate cars. But if it's Veiby and Christopherson, it will not, because I'm also saying at least 1 car will win with 2 different drivers. I reckon a new car will win a EuroRX race, so one that hasn't won at a European level before. And I think an RX3 driver will run RX1 at some point. Maybe that will be in Jakarta. On top of that, in terms of championship, I think there'll be a new European champion. It could even be Christopherson, because even though he's won, 8 world titles, he's never won at a European level. I think the winning European mark won't win the World Cup, but I think the European champion as well will not win the World Cup. I think RX3 will have a returning champion. I think that the runner-ups in RX1 and RX3 will be different manufacturers to the champions in those series. And I also think at each level it will be a different mark that wins. So maybe VW, Audi, Ford, and then, I don't know, maybe Ligier for cross-kart. If I'm correct with those, by the way, that will be wild. In terms of predictions for 2027, I reckon there'll be more races if it's 2 in a weekend, or if it's just more than 6 with the World Cup as the 7th. I think the World Cup idea will also return for 2027, but I also think, unfortunately, at least 1 venue won't return for 2027. In terms of lineups, I think a former world champion will announce a EuroRX run. I think another former team will announce a EuroRX campaign. Hansen's the most obvious choice there. I also think a new car will be announced for RX1 in 2027. It could even be something that's shipped across the States in the same way the Olsberg's Hondas have been. And now for the wildcards. I think the 2 teammates will take each other out in a finals run. That could be quarters or semis or the final itself. I think a reserve will start the final at least once. Hot take, but I think the World Cup will not happen in Jakarta. It could end up at Istanbul Park. It could end up in the one that they wanted to have a couple of years ago. What was it meant to be? Hong Kong? But I don't think it will happen in Jakarta, if it happens even. I think at least 1 semi-final or final will get red flagged. I think a former WRC driver, an additional one to, say, the likes of Ole Christian Veiby, will make an appearance. I think that a former World RX race winner will make an appearance. It could even be a former champion, like, say, Ekstrom likes to rock up every now and again, doesn't he? I reckon that if the Hansens appear at all in the EuroRX campaign, they will only appear at Holliers. And I reckon that the WRX return for 2028, unfortunately, I feel like there's going to be an announced delay to the 2028 return. Maybe to 2039, maybe to an unspecified date. Those are my thoughts and feelings and predictions, though, folks. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, thanks for your continued support of this channel. I look forward to going back over these at the end of the season. But until then, from me, it's bye-bye for now.